Hi, everybody, and welcome to our webinar about streamlining customer onboarding with online scheduling. My name is Aviva, and I'm a product marketing manager here at Schedulence. I'm really excited to have all of you here with us today. We have a lot of things to get through, and it's going to be really interesting. In the meantime, if you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to send them to us in the question box in your control panel, and we will try to answer every question that we can at the end during a Q&A session. So with that, let's get started. So just to start, before we jump into today's topic, I want to just, for anybody who's not using Schedulence, I want to just talk about what our platform is. So we are an online scheduling platform that helps you to easily connect with your customers. It's a great way to shorten time to engagement, and it lets your customers choose when to be contacted. Basically, when you're using Schedulence, you can have people schedule with you online through your booking pages or master pages, and it connects with your calendar, making it really simple for them to meet with you and to schedule with you at a time that is convenient for both of you. And it also eliminates all your back and forth of scheduling. So it's really a great way to power your customer engagement and help you streamline onboarding, which is our topic for today. So, like I said, for today, our topic is the customer onboarding. So, as you already know, a smooth onboarding is extremely important when you want to secure long-term trust and loyalty from your customers. When they start using a new product, there's a learning curve. They have to learn about using it, and so you may offer setup or training or installation sessions, or maybe you have webinars or classes or any other types of things that you do to help your customers adapt to your new technology. So with online scheduling, you can really improve this experience for scheduling all the different sessions that you may offer by allowing your customers to easily schedule any of these sessions on their own. And so that makes it much easier for them. They'll be more likely to schedule and be more likely to attend these sessions, which will help them to adopt your technology and to adopt your product. And then it'll be easier for them to use it and easier for them to turn into a long-term customer who's loyal and happily using your product instead of just a new prospect who is lost in your system. So online scheduling really can help you with that. When you do this, you'll be able to conduct more sessions because you won't be wasting time trying to schedule or wasting time with back and forth. You also reduce time to implementation, again, because there's no back and forth. It's so simple. Your customers can schedule right away without you needing to be online to accept an appointment. And will really increase customer satisfaction. Your customers will be really impressed with how easy it is to get the help they need, to set up the sessions that they need to. It'll be really useful for them. So today what we're going to do is I want to show you a few different scenarios of ways that you can use online scheduling in your onboarding process. So we'll jump into the first scenario now. The first scenario that we're going to talk about today is offering scheduling in your lifecycle email campaign. So likely today, when you have your new customers, you have a lifecycle email campaign that you have that when customers sign up for your product or your service, they start getting emails from you to help them get used to your product, help them adopt your product, help them learn about the different features. And so what you can do is you can simply add a scheduling link into these email campaigns. So that way, when your customers are looking at your lifecycle email campaign, when they're getting these emails, they can learn about your product, and then they can see a link to schedule their session with you. And so this is a really great way to make your lifecycle email campaign more interactive and give your customers an access point to access you and talk to you about anything that they need while they're just adopting your technology. So let me show you how that could work. So as you can see here, this is an example of a lifecycle email campaign. It's an email that you can send to your customers maybe a few days after they sign up or whenever you have your email lifecycle campaign. And you can tell them a little bit about different features that you have in your product, ask them how it's going, trying to make a personal connection with them. And of course, what we're talking about today, you can offer onboarding from these emails. So like this. With Schedulence, we have this thing called personalized links. So you can add these links to your emails, and what that would do is that your customers can click on the link and schedule their onboarding session with you. And the thing about them being personalized links is that your customers, they won't need to fill out any information that you already have. You can decide to make it really simple. They can just click on the link and pick a time and it's done. Or you can pre-populate your booking form if you want to get more information from them. But with our personalized links, it's a really great way to make the scheduling process as simple as possible. So for example, like I said, they just click on the link. So your customers, they just clicked on your link and then they land on your booking page. For example, this is an example of a booking page that you can use for scheduling onboarding sessions. As you can see, the page is designed. You can have the page designed however you like with our theme designer. You can add backgrounds and do all sorts of things to make the page in line with your brand, which is also really important because with your new customers, you want to make sure that they start to recognize your brand. So it's really important that you make your booking page as part of that so that they can easily see who it is and they'll understand, they'll know you. You can add pictures. You can do all kinds of things to make that your booking pages in line and help familiarize your customers with your company during the onboarding process. So that's something that is really important that I just wanted to note. And so like I talked about, they have a personalized link, like we said in the email. So what your customers will do is they come to your booking page, they just simply pick a date and they can pick a time and then they click schedule. And as you can see here, the booking was confirmed. It was really simple. It just took a few clicks, the click from the email, a date and a time and schedule, and their booking is confirmed. So it's really simple. And it will make it really easy for your customers to take advantage of your onboarding sessions because if it's very easy to schedule, then there's no barriers for them to do it, and they'll be highly likely to schedule onboarding sessions with you because it'll be very easy for them. I also want to just note here, as you can see here, we have web conferencing information. Schedulence integrates with GoToMeeting and WebEx seamlessly so that if you want to conduct your onboarding sessions via GoToMeeting or WebEx, you can integrate your accounts with Schedulence. And whenever somebody schedules a booking with you, a new session in GoToMeeting or WebEx will be created, and the information will be automatically added to your the customer's notification about the onboarding session, and also will be added to the calendar event. So it'll be really easily accessible for your customer to get the web conferencing information, and you won't have to do anything in order to create the web conferencing session. It's all automatic. So it's really, really simple. And I want to show you another method of using personalized links. Like right now, I just showed you that you can skip the booking form and it's really fast and without any clicks. But I also want to show you another little trick that you can do if you don't want to skip the booking form. So let's just go back to the beginning of the booking page. So back where we are, if you remember, we clicked on a button from an email. We get on a booking page to schedule an onboarding session. And now let's say, like we said, this is an example of what you want to do if you do not want to skip the booking form. It's still a personalized link, as you'll see. So your customers will first click a date, click a time, click continue, and you'll see here that they get to the booking form. And our booking forms are fully customizable. You can add whatever questions you want. You can ask them whatever you want. You can make them look different ways. But as I said before, this is still a personalized link. And the way you know that is because you can see here that my details here are pre-populated in these fields. So it already knows my name and it already knows my email. And so I don't have to type these in. And then you can ask your customers anything else that you want to ask them. Like, for example, you can tell them to invite their colleagues. So we have this feature called Customer Guests that, let's say, your customer is one person in an organization that is going to be using your product, and maybe they want to invite their colleagues to join the onboarding session. So that way all of their colleagues can learn about using your product in one session. So it'll be really easy for their entire team to work together, join your onboarding session, and learn about it and learn about your product together. So you can add this field to your booking form, and then your customers can just simply type in the email addresses of their colleagues. And those colleagues will also get an email notification about the event. They'll get a calendar invite. And so that way their whole team can come to the onboarding session. It's a really great feature to help onboard an entire team at one time. And they can add up to 10 email addresses, which they just have to separate here with a comma. And as I also mentioned, you can ask anything else you want in the booking form. So maybe you want to tell them to tell you about their specific needs. Maybe you want to ask them like how they found your product, or you want to ask them what type of calendar they'll be integrating with, or any kind of thing that you want to ask. You can ask whatever you want, and then your customers will just click done, and they get to the same confirmation page. As you see here, it says that an event email confirmation was sent to their email address, and then an event was added to their calendar. And also, as you can see, that we have this feature called automatic redirect. So now, just 1 second, it's going to redirect. And here we go to a thank you page. So Schedulence allows you to automatically redirect your customers to any page that you want to redirect them to when they complete the booking. This example here just takes you to like a thank you page. This is our thank you page that we use in our demos. It's just a pretty page with some information, but you can really do this for a lot of different things. For example, you can redirect your customers to maybe some resource on your website that could help them prepare for their onboarding, or maybe you want to send them to learn about an upcoming webinar or something, or you want to, or another example is send them to, like some people like to send them to a form to let their customers to fill out more information so that they can give more information to make sure their onboarding session is even more useful. So there's really a lot of different things you can do with the automatic redirect. So it's a really, really useful feature that we have. So that is basically the whole process from the email where your customers just click on the link to schedule, they choose their date and their time, and then they either fill out the booking form or they skip the booking form, they get the confirmation, and then they go to a thank you page. And now I want to show you what happens next for the customer. Your customer, in the meantime, gets an email notification telling them about their booking. It says that their booking is confirmed. It tells them it's the onboarding session, the date and time. Here, like I mentioned earlier, it has the details to go to their GoToMeeting session. And you can decide how many notifications to send to your customers and reminders. You can send up to 3 reminders before the event. Of course, you can send them email, or you can also send them via SMS. So that way you can make sure that people remember that they have their onboarding session coming up. And it's a really great way to remind them. I recommend sending a reminder like 10 to 15 minutes before, so that way your customers will be ready and remember to join in time. That's just a good little tip for you. Also in the email, you'll notice that there's here this link for cancel reschedule. So things come up, your customers, maybe something comes up and they have to change the time. Maybe they realize that that's not a good time for them. So it's really simple. All they have to do is click on this link, and they can simply go back to your booking form and choose to reschedule or cancel, or if they decide they just want to keep, they can just keep. So it's really easy for them to cancel and reschedule. And if they do reschedule, your GoToMeeting or WebEx section is automatically updated as well. So you don't have to worry about any of that. We take care of all of that for you. And it's really simple. So they'll get a notification that it was rescheduled. Of course, you will get a notification that it was rescheduled. And of course, the calendar event that we added to the calendar of both you and your customer will be moved to the new time. So it's a really great way to make sure that that the time is still convenient and your customers take advantage of your onboarding session, because they won't miss it ever. So this is a really important feature to note. So that is the first scenario. And so now I would like to move on to our second scenario for onboarding today. So our second scenario for today is scheduling onboarding with your top accounts. So let's say your company, your top accounts, these are the ones that you have account managers designated to, the ones that you know personally because they're your biggest clients, your biggest revenue drivers. These are the important accounts that you want to make sure that you are helping them, hand-holding them, and making sure that they feel appreciated, and so that they stay with your company. So what you want to do is you can allow your account managers to schedule on behalf of these customers. So maybe your account manager calls them to welcome them to your company and to help them out, and they can schedule right on their behalf from your CRM, and I'll show you how to do that. Or they can personally invite these accounts for onboarding. Like the same way we had the personalized emails that I showed you in the lifecycle emails, you can also send those personally in just any email that any account manager writes out to your top accounts. So that's also another option that you can do with personalized links. But I want to show you right now how you can do our scheduling on behalf feature from your CRM. So for those of you who are Salesforce users, you'll recognize here that I am in Salesforce. So let's say this is my lead. Let's say this is Mike Brown. Mike Brown just signed up for my product. He just made a purchase, and now I want to, and he's a great top account, so I want to make sure that he feels welcomed. I want to make sure that he knows that we appreciate his business. So as his account manager, what I would do is I would call him on the phone and speak with him, and while I'm speaking with him, I can schedule my onboarding session. And I would do that by clicking on this button right here. So with Schedulence, you can add buttons to your CRM to make scheduling easy. You can do this in Salesforce, you can do this in Infusionsoft. So it makes it so simple for your account managers to just schedule with these leads. So all they would do is they'd click on the button, and the onboarding booking page will open for you right here. So it's really simple. As the account manager, all you have to do is you just choose the date and time that your customer tells you is the best, and all you have to do is click schedule. And you can see here that we got to the confirmation, and an email was sent to the customer to confirm, and the event was added to your customer's calendar. So you can see it's really easy for the customer. They didn't have to do anything. They're already on the phone with the account manager. It's a really seamless experience for them. And on the other hand, for you, it's really easy because the onboarding session is now added to the leads record ID in Salesforce. So you can see here, we now have a new open activity. We have an onboarding session here. So that way we know that we have the onboarding session and it's attached to our lead. So it's really great that you have all of your information kept together in Salesforce. Also, that really helps you to stay organized and help you better manage your top accounts. You'll be able to see all the appointments they have, see when they are. So like I said, when you have your top customers, this is a really great way to make sure that scheduling onboarding is as seamless as possible for them. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, you can also send personalized links to your top accounts just in a personal email, the same way we did earlier with the lifecycle emails, except for you can copy and paste the link into the email. I'll show you how that looks really quick, just so you can get a feel for it. So just to show you a quick example, this is a personal email. You can see it's just a typed email that an account manager sent with a link to schedule. So as the new customer, all I would have to do is click on the link, and I would come to the booking page, and I would simply just pick a date and a time and click schedule, and my booking would be confirmed. So, as I said, this is a really great way to make sure that you're providing exceptional service to your top customers and your top accounts. And now I would like to move on to our next scenario for the day. So our next scenario is adding a scheduling call to action within your app. So let's say you're offering a product or a service to your customers online, and they have an app where they go into, or a portal where they go in to use your service or your product. And what you want to do is you can add a scheduling call to action right within your app. So that way your customers can click on this link while they're inside your portal and schedule. So one of the great things with this is that you're allowing them to schedule right when they're already engaged. So at this point, your customers are looking around your app, they're interested, they're wanting to learn. It's a great time to catch them exactly at the point when they're engaged. So what you could do is you can add a button or a widget or embed your scheduling page altogether, and customers can easily just click on the button on the call to action and schedule a time without having to provide any information that they already have, because as we said before, since they're already logged in, you already know who they are. So it'll be the same as like we showed you previously with the personalized links, that it's really simple. You can just make scheduling as fast as possible. So let me show you what that could look like. So this is an example of what you can do to add scheduling into your app. So this is an example of a portal or app that your customers may use to access your product or service. And like what we did, we have here just a little bar with our customer success, allowing customers to schedule their appointments. So what your customers could do is they would just simply click on the button here, and they would open up to your booking page here in a lightbox, and all they have to do is pick on a date and pick on a time and click schedule. And you see here the booking is confirmed. We didn't have to put in any information because the company already knows who the customer is because they're logged in. So it's really simple and really easy for your customers to do it. And I also want to point out another feature that I haven't spoken about yet is their automatic assignment feature. As you may notice here, we have a team member, Sarah Fisher, who is assigned to the meeting. So basically with our automatic assignment feature, your customers can just pick a time, and you can automatically assign one of your team members to conduct the meeting. So if you have a bunch of different CSMs or a bunch of different account managers, whoever's conducting your onboarding sessions, you can just have them automatically assigned based on when they're available. And also you can set a priority to choose which of your team members should be assigned first if they're available. So that's a really great way to distribute your workload the way that you want to among your CSMs, and you don't have to add an extra step by asking your customers to select somebody. It's just automatically assigned. So it's really simple. And all your customers have to do then, they can just X out of this and continue working in your app, continue doing whatever they're doing before, and they have their appointment set up, and they will receive a notification, and an event was added to their calendar. So that's another really great way to use scheduling and onboarding. And now what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you our next scenario for the day. So our next scenario is integrating scheduling with your online training catalog. So maybe you offer webinars, classes, or other online training courses to your new customers. And so it's a little bit different than an onboarding session, but maybe you have a catalog online where your customers can browse all the different options that you offer, and they can choose which ones are good for them, whatever ones they like, whatever classes speak to them and speak to their needs. This is another really great way to help your customers adapt and start using all the different features that you offer. So with online scheduling, what you can really do, it'll be really simple for your customers to just book these sessions right when they're browsing. So they can choose whatever sessions work for them, they can schedule. And also we have some great features that you can use if you use group sessions, for example, with webinars, you want to have multiple people booking the same session, or if you have classes where you want customers to schedule multiple classes at one time, that's also an option. I'll show you that. And also another really great thing I want to mention is maybe you charge for your training courses and you want your customers to have to pay for the courses that they're taking, and I can show you how to do that as well. So let's get started and look into what we can do with that. So there are multiple ways that you can add scheduling to an online training catalog. For example, if you already have a catalog online, like say something like this one, like I'm showing you here, where you show the different courses that you have, what you could do is you can use our buttons. You can just put website buttons here using our button feature to let your customers book each different kind of session. The buttons can either open up in a lightbox or it'll open up in a new tab to let your customers schedule, or you can use a booking page or a master page with multiple event types. So let me show you how that would look now. So you can also use a booking page as your online training catalog and offer your customers multiple event types on your one page. Everything else I showed you until now up today only had one event type per each booking page. So as you saw, your customers started straight from the select a time step. And so this I want to show you something a little bit different. And that's why I'm showing it to you like this instead of in the button like I just showed you on our training catalog online. This way you can offer multiple different event types from the same booking page. So that's a really easy way to let your customers choose what's best for them. You give them one page and they can choose like this. And what they can do is they can first, maybe they want to choose your onboarding webinar, or they want to choose a software training course, or they want to book 5 sessions of the training course. So what you can do is you can define different settings for each one of these different event types that you offer. For example, we see here that the onboarding webinar is free. This one costs $50 and this one costs $200 for 5 sessions. And you can also define how many people can join each one and define all different types of settings, like what's your availability, when will each one take place. Like for example, if we click on the onboarding webinar, we'll notice here that it's only offered once a day. We offer it every day at 9 a.m. That way it's always offered when you want it to be offered. You want it every day at 9 a.m., so it's easy there. And as I mentioned, you can define how many people can join. You can say it's unlimited number of people can join the webinar, or you can say 10 or 5 or whatever, however many you want to join your webinar. It's easy to do it like that. Same with the software training course. Maybe you want this to be more intimate since your customers are paying for it. So maybe it's only 2 or 3 people that are joining it, or even one person if you want to make it one-on-one. You can also, of course, do that. And your customers would simply choose a time and then pay for the session. I'll show you that in a minute. And also here we have a 5-session training course. With this one, your customers can book all 5 sessions at once. So it'll look something like this. So your customers would see the different times available for your course, and they can just choose. Maybe they want to do one here, and then they can do another one. If they like that time, they can just choose whichever times work best for them. And they would, when they have them all booked, they would just click continue, and they would go to the booking form. They can fill out any information that you need. And again, if you're sending this to people, you can use personalized links. And then the next thing they would have to do is they would go on to pay. So with Schedulence, your customers can pay for your sessions either with PayPal or with a debit card. So we have a really great payment integration feature that seamlessly connects with your PayPal account so that the way your customers can book with you and pay for their sessions, and the money would flow directly into your PayPal account really easily. So that way you never have to chase people for money, and it makes it really easy for you to generate more revenue from the things that you're already doing just by charging for these sessions that people would really like to have. So it's really simple, and all you have to do is connect your PayPal account, and then you can start collecting money from Schedulence. And if you're interested in this, please let me know, say something in the chat box because we had a webinar on this recently and I would love to send you the link if you're interested to learn more. It's a really great feature that we've found very successful. But like I said, it's really simple for your customers. They can either choose to pay with their credit or debit card, or they can pay with their PayPal account. And then once they make the payment, their booking will be completed. So I also want to mention here that our payment integration has robust flexibility with your cancel and reschedule policy. So for example, if your customers schedule a session and they need to cancel and you want to refund them, you can decide whether you want to refund them, if you want to refund them the entire amount, a portion of the amount, or maybe you don't want to refund them at all, or you can decide when they have to cancel in order to be refunded. If they have to cancel at least 24 hours or 48 hours in advance, you can choose that. And you can also choose with the reschedule fee. Maybe you want to charge a reschedule fee for customers if they choose to reschedule too close to an event, or if they want to, you can change different fees for a fee if they want to reschedule an hour before, a fee for scheduling a day before. So I want to show you how that would look like for your customers, what the customer experience would be with using cancel and reschedule if they paid for their session. So let's look at a notification with payment. So this is an example of a notification, a booking confirmed for the software training course. Here we are. Here it has our payment information, and it also has the time. And here you can just click on the cancel rescheduling like every one of our notifications has. And here you come back to the page that we were on before, but it looks a little different. You can see here we have 3 tabs. We have reschedule, cancel, and keep. And you can see here we have a reschedule policy. The policy is that bookings can be rescheduled anytime before the meeting, but if you reschedule, your reschedule fee is 10 cents. So like you said here, if you want to, if your customers want to reschedule, they know that there's a fee here. So that's easy for them. Also here in the cancel, we see here that there's also a cancellation policy that you can define. Here it says if you cancel the booking, you'll be entitled to a full refund. So that's something that I chose for this. Of course, you can decide however you want to do the refunds. And of course, I also want to mention that we do allow you to do manual refunds. So for example, let's say you don't offer refunds in general, but for some reason you want to give a specific customer a refund because of a specific circumstance, that's something that you can also do manually from within your account. So it's really flexible to allow you to do that. So your customers can really simple, if they want to cancel, they just have to put in a reason, which you can ask for a reason, or you don't have to ask if you don't want to. But it's always nice to know why somebody's canceling. Or they can reschedule, they can just click here to see available times and choose a different time that works better for them. And then it's the same as if they just scheduled the booking, they'll get a notification. And it's the same process before. They'll get a calendar event. The calendar event is moved if it's rescheduled. If it's canceled, the calendar event is deleted. So it's really a very easy process. So there won't be any confusion if there are any change of plans in your meetings. So that's how it works for your customers. It's really, really simple. So one more thing I just wanted to talk about a little bit before we get into the Q&A today is our CRM integration. So I mentioned a little bit earlier talking about Salesforce, talking about the button that you can add to your Salesforce leads so that way you can book their onboarding session. But I also just want to mention that when you use we have 2 native integrations. We have a native Infusionsoft and a native Salesforce integration. And when you use these integrations, all your booking activity will be updated in your contact records in your CRM. So that's something that's really important with onboarding because you want to make sure that you keep track of all your customers. Your new customers, you don't want to let anybody slip through the cracks. So using an integration with your CRM is key to making sure that you're offering great service to your customers. You want to make sure that you know when they scheduled. You want to keep up to date with them, on track. And if you have also email campaigns that you want to send out that are related to your meetings, you can also do that through your CRMs. So it's a really great way to make sure that you don't lose track of anything when you use this integration. So I just want to say I highly recommend it. So I showed you a little bit about Salesforce, and that I can show you Infusionsoft if you have any questions about it. And we also had webinars on these topics earlier in last year. So if you have any questions about Infusionsoft or Salesforce, please reach out and I can send you the webinars that we held on these topics, and you can learn more about our integrations with them. So with that, I'd like to start answering the questions because I see that we had a lot of questions today from the audience, so that's really good to hear. I'm happy to answer all the questions. But if I don't get to your question today, or if you have further questions or you think of something later, please reach out to us. You can check out our support center at help.scheduleonce.com, or you can contact us at support@scheduleonce.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible and try to answer your question to the best of our abilities. And with that, let me start answering the questions that you've been asking me today. Okay, great. So I see that a lot of people were asking questions about Zoom integration, if we integrate with Zoom. So we integrate with Zoom via Zapier. We do have a native integration on the roadmap, so hopefully that will come out soon. But in the meantime, the best way to do that is with Zapier, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So let's just move over back into my account. So the way you would do it is you would go into your account and you would open up the left sidebar here, and you see here we have Zapier integration. So I'll click on that. And I'm already connected, and if you need help connecting, we have some great help articles about that to teach you how to connect. It's really simple. And what you would want to do is you could go to the Add Zaps tab here, and you can click here. You can pick your Zap. You would just, let's say we're looking for Zoom. And when we click on Zoom, you see we have Zap templates. So this is really easy to set up. All you have to do is click Add Zap, and there's a short setup that you have to go through, and it's really simple. So you could just go through and add these Zaps automatically from the templates that we have. And if you want to do something other than what we have here in the templates, you can create your own Zaps right from in Zapier, and that's also really simple to do. Okay, so yeah, if you're looking for integration with Zoom, this is, I recommend that you do this via Zapier now. And I also want to mention that we are having our native integration should be coming up in the end of March. So look forward to that. It's coming up really soon. The next question I see is how do you set up a button to open up in a new tab? So let me show you how to do that now. We'll go to Share and Publish, and when you click on, you go to the button. And what you'll do is you can configure your button, like scheduling, choose the text and choose the button color. And then you choose which booking page or master page you want to use. And you can decide if you want to pass your customer data via URL parameters, via Salesforce and Infusionsoft. And then here you can decide if you want it to open up in a lightbox or open up in a new page. So when someone asks how we open it up in a lightbox instead of in a new tab, so you would just make sure that you select this one right here. So and then you would copy the code, you put the code on your website, and it's very simple, and then you'll have a button on your page. So it's like that. So the next question that I received is, how do you design your booking pages with background pictures? Okay, great. So that's a great question. As you saw, all the booking pages that I showed had different background photos, and the way you can do that is by going to our theme designer. So what you would do is you would go here and click Theme Designer, and so you get here into the theme designer, and what you can do is you can create a new theme. So it's really simple. What you do is you just create a new theme, and you can choose a light or a dark theme. Let's just make one now fast. Let's say custom theme. And you can create your own new theme. And here you can also, what you can do is you can upload a background photo here, your background image. You can choose any photo that you like, and that will be your background photo of your booking page. And also, I want to note that when you choose a background photo, you also want to look at the opacity of your interaction and your information pane. For what I mean by that is, if you notice that these boxes on your booking page, they're a little bit see-through, a little bit transparent, and so you want to make sure that the transparency works well with the background image that you choose. So if you have something that's dark, maybe you want it to be a little bit less transparent, more opaque, so that way your customers will still be able to read the text on your booking page. So that's also another really important thing to know when you're adding a background to your booking page. Okay, and so it's simply like that. You create your theme, and you would just, after you finish it all, you would click Save, and then you can attach your theme to your booking pages in the overview section. So let me just show you how you would do that. You would just go to Setup, and let's just click on a booking page, and you would choose a theme here by going here. You have theme, and just going to the drop down, and you'll be able to choose any of the themes that you've created. So it's really really easy to create a theme and add any background photo that you like to your booking pages. Okay. So the next question that I received is, how do you add icons for your event types? Okay, that's a good question. Let me show you how to do that now. It's really easy. What you would just do is you would click on the event type in Setup. So let's say I want to add an icon for this event type. And you would go here to the public content section. And here you can upload any event type that you like. You can choose a file, just choose any picture that you want. And I also want to note that in our Help Center, we have an image and icon gallery that you can use, and you can use any of those if they will be useful for the purposes that you're using for your event types. Great. Okay, so the next question I have is, how can I add my own fields to my booking form? Okay, great question. So what you would do is you would go here to Tools, and you go to the Booking Forms editor. So let's click on that. And what you would do is when you create a booking form, you can decide any of the fields that you want in your booking form. So let's just say here, if we have a booking form, what you could do is you can add any system field. We have a long list of system fields. If you'll notice, here is the customer guest field that I showed you a little earlier today, where you can allow your customers to add additional guests to their booking form. So here, if you want to add that, you would do that by adding this one. You just really simply click on this arrow, and then you can position it by clicking on these arrows. And of course, you can decide if any field is mandatory or not by clicking on this. So you can do that with our system fields, and we also have a long list of custom fields. And you can, of course, also create any field that you like by just clicking on Add Custom Field to Library. It's really simple. You can click on that and choose a field type. Single line text, multi-line text, drop-down, checkbox, attachment. So it's really simple. You can just choose any type of field you want, name the fields, create the options if you need options, and then when you press save, then you can add it to your booking form. And also, it's important to note that anything that you create here as a field for your booking form can be added to your notifications, and you can also use it in reports looking at what people answered that field in your booking form. So it's a really great way to get more information and to make sure you have that information in your notifications as well. Okay. The next question I have is, do you have any pre-designed system themes that we can just modify? Yes, we do actually. It's a good question. I'm sorry I failed to mention that. So let's just go back to the theme designer. Let's just leave. I didn't press save. So here we're back at the theme designer, and you'll notice we have 5 system themes here. We have a light system theme, a gray system theme, a blue system theme, a green, and a dark. And so these are the different background colors for these themes. So what you can do is, if you want to just use one of our system themes, you can just edit the logo. You can add your own logo here, and you can change the button color, and you can change the button font color. So that's the color of the text that'll be inside your button on your booking page. So if you want to just change those 3 things, then it's really simple. You can just use one of our system themes. Or if you want to modify one just slightly, you could just duplicate it. So like if you want to take the blue one and you just want to modify it, you can just click here on duplicate theme, and then maybe you can just change a few of the other properties like the font or the booking form field types of the or any of like the opacity or the border of the images. So that's another really simple way if you want to just use one of the themes that we have and just customize it for your own purposes. So that's really easy. Okay. The next question I have is, can you just talk a little bit more about payment integration? Yeah, so I saw a lot of you were asking about payment integration. I'm really happy about that. It's a really interesting feature that I think is really beneficial. So we have, it's really easy to set up. We connect with PayPal. You could set it up in your account here. We're going to integrations and going to payment integration. And I'm already set up, but it's really simple to set up, and you can do a lot of things with it. Like for example, you can decide which currencies you want to use. You can use any currency that you have in your PayPal account. That's important to note. And you can we have invoice settings. So we have a lot of different things that you can do with our payment integration. So like I said, if you're interested more in this, we'll send you the link to our previous webinar that we held on it. But I recommend that you try it out. You can customize different payment settings. We have a lot of refund settings as well that make it really, really customizable for you. So that way, let's say you want to be able to do manual refunds. I spoke about doing the automatic refunds if somebody cancels, but we also have a manual refund if you want to do something, if you have to make an exception and make a manual refund. That's also an option that we have. And like I said here, we also have, you can add any currencies that you have in your PayPal account. You can add them to your Schedulence account. And we have invoice settings where you can create your own invoices and add your own logo and customize them for your needs. So that's also a really great thing about our payment integration. And your customers will be able to really simply pay. It's something that we found really beneficial for our customers who do use it, that they don't have to chase people for money at all, and they can just seamlessly pay, like their customers can seamlessly pay at the time of scheduling. So it's really beneficial for your customers. They don't have to think about making a payment later, and it's really beneficial for you that you don't have to go chasing it later on. And we have a lot of help articles to help you with this, and like I mentioned before, check out our webinar on it. Okay. So I think that's all the time that we have for now. So if you have any further questions and we didn't get to your questions, please feel free to contact us. You can check out our help center at help.schedulence.com, or you can contact us at support@schedulence.com, and we'd be happy to answer any of the questions that you have, and we're here to help. So thank you very much for joining us today, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks.